My name is Peter Turner and this is The Alternative. This is the weekly news magazine that gives you the news and the information that you won't find on regular television or in the newspapers. This week our special guests are James Darby of the newly forming Team Australia Party, Paul Toohey, the political activist, and Larry Pickering, who is the legendary cartoonist and 4 times Walkley Award winner. The Alternative recently ran into Larry Pickering at the Stop the Mosque rally at Currumbin on the Gold Coast. Larry didn't hold back.
80% of all Muslims in Australia were born here. Born here. And that's a problem because when they go overseas to these wars, and we are told there's 150 of them by this ACO guy, bullshit, there's about nearer to 500 over there right now. There's 1,500 from the United States, there's 1,000 and more that we know of from the UK, and there's another 10,000 from Europe in general. So this is bullshit about them going over there and getting radicalised. Don't listen to that, that's nonsense. They were radicalised before they left here. Before they bought a bloody ticket on that bloody plane. They knew what they were doing. They got on the internet. They got radicalised in their damn mosques. All this happened before they left to go over there. Don't sugarcoat it by saying, hey, we can unradicalise them when they return.
Now here's the point. Today we're going to sit down quietly with Larry, Paul and James and find out the background story of the invasion of Islam in Australia.
Kirralie Smith, the halal protector. What can you tell us what happened when she went to TGB?
Well, TGB were going to do a story on this halal certifier, and we all know they're a bunch of crooks, but Kirralie rang TGB and said, well, look, you should get me on as well because I lead the anti-halal movement. And then the producer said, well, look, you're an idiot. Why don't you ring in like everyone else does? And so anyway, I put that up on the post, and TGB got very, very nasty about it and said it didn't happen. Well, it did happen.
And who was TGB going to interview that Kirralie should have gone up against?
It was this bloke, Khalik, who is a halal certifier, and he's president of some Islamic organisation out West Sydney. And he's also got a poultry processing plant somewhere, and he maintains that that's completely halal. But the trouble is that poultry plants all dehead their chocks automatically, like it's all done mechanically, so it wouldn't matter if it was halal or not. But the amount of money that goes through with this halal scam is just, it'll make your hair curl. It won't make mine curl, but it'll make everyone else.
It'll make mine curl as well.
But I mean, it is really something that hasn't been addressed by media. Media don't understand it. And government has got no idea what's going on, and they don't want to interfere with anything that may interfere with export products, which is understandable. But we're not talking about export products. We're talking about Vegemite, ice cream, just about everything you buy on a supermarket shelf is halal certified.
How did they creep in when they got 2% of the population? How did they creep into 90% of the food chain?
Because what they do is they get... Okay, let me start from the beginning. It's run out of Indonesia by a place called MUI, which is the Halal Certification Joint, which is supposed to govern Australia. But Saudi Arabia governs the world halal thing, which is a $3 trillion industry. $3 trillion. So we're talking multi-billions in Australia. But, you know, it's just horrific what's going on. Because everyone is, all the Muslims are now at each other's throat because they all want to be a certifier. So they're undercutting each other. And the stories that I've come across, it's just terrible. I mean, to think it could be happening in Australia is, it's shocking.
What's the answer for it? What's Kirralie say about it?
Well, Kirralie is bringing out an app. I've already told all my readers, which is about 500,000 of them out there somewhere, but I've told them to get onto this app called Buycott.
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 Right.
I put it down on my phone, and what you can do is you pass the camera over any product you see, pass it over the barcode, and it will tell you whether the manufacturer of that product is halal certified or not. At the moment,
Is this an app on your phone? You can
Yeah.
You can wave your phone over it.
You wave your phone over it, and everyone is doing it now in all the stores, and the store managers are saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
I love it.
And they're all going bonkers, of course, because what's happened is that now that there's so much aggro about these companies that are causing shoppers to pay tax here, there's so much aggro about it that companies have taken the little logo off their bloody product. So you don't know what's halal certified or not. I mean, they're taking it off Vegemite, they're taking it off all sorts of things. Everything there, they're just deleting the logos. But so the only way to hurt these buggers is to get hold of who the manufacturers of the product are. And
Spell
this
this app name for me again.
Buycott.
Buycott.
Yeah, so that's the thing that will hurt. That's the thing that will hurt the manufacturers, and it is hurting them. I mean, you see how many people now are giving this halal certification away. They're saying, no, we're not halal certified. I mean, at the moment, you've got Domino's Pizzas have given it away, all sorts of meat manufacturers in Victoria have given it away. They're all saying, no, we want nothing to do with it, which is exactly what needs to happen, because the government won't do anything about it. It's simply because they think it might affect the export trade. But we don't care about the export trade. Like, they can halal certify whatever they want to send overseas. That's their problem. But the problem is here that we don't know what we're paying tax on when we buy a product. And that product can be anything from Vegemite to tomato sauce to ice cream to, and there's one I've got a copy of the actual contract, a plastics manufacturer. A plastics. He makes plastic containers.
I can say that though. It's Kirley Smith of halalchoices.com.au.
Yep. Carolee has it. This is an American one, right?
That's an American
But
one.
Carolee is coming out with one. Yeah. Well, it should have a big effect on how the thing's operating, but yeah, see, that's out too. And this poor little lady, like, she's a mother of two, she lives in the bush, she's lost her house, she lives in a tent.
How did she lose the house?
Because she's been concentrating on this,
Yeah.
and never got around to, she lost the house. But she's happy. And she feels that up until now she's been doing a tremendous job with a lot of people following her. But since I got into league with her, her following has gone from very small to huge.
Fantastic.
And now all the media has got onto her and said, no, you're a bloody Islamophobe. We don't want to know about you. You're a redneck.
What's the answer to people who, in their attempt to defend Australia, get called Islamophobes? What's the answer to this?
Well, it's like you fear Muslims, I suppose that's what the word means. I mean, if you're
I don't think she's more fearful of the result of Islam.
Yes, she is. But like what I said to her is that's step one. You've reached step one. People have noticed you. Step two is that they'll rubbish you. They will try and destroy you. Yeah. Step three is where they've got to take notice of you. And that's where you start winning. So you've got to go through those stages.
Where the people power thing comes in.
Yes, it's part of the people power thing. You can't just go bang and everyone listens. It doesn't work that way. The media will naturally be very sceptical of you, and anything that even might smell of Islamophobia, you'll become a target. Mm. And but that target you must become that target, and you must survive it until enough people know what you're talking about, and they will, and then you can move on to having a big effect.